Hi, this is Mike Hendrickson from OSCON 2014 in Portland. I'm here with John Mone and Jared Smith from Bluehost. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Doing great.
Great.
Doing great. So great as in this is a good conference for Bluehost, or great as in just feels good?
Both. I'd say both. It's a great community of people here. We've enjoyed this being our third year as a premium sponsor. It's great for us as a business that's really built on open source to be able to contribute significantly and meaningfully to the community. And doing that here there's no greater place than to demonstrate that support.
So you guys are built on open source, but you also offer open source solutions for your customers. Is that
We do.
That's
fair
correct.
to say?
So as a hosting provider, a lot of the applications that people want to use are open source applications, things like WordPress and Drupal and PHPBB and applications like this. So in addition to offering those, we have a one-click installer that makes it really easy for our customers to really take advantage of these open source web applications.
And do the customers, the consumers, even really know it, or does it matter that it's open source to them?
To some they do. To some they don't know. They know that it works for them and it helps them put their business online. And that's really what our goal is to help small businesses and individuals get a presence online and learn how to take advantage of the internet.
So can I ask you guys, why are you giving back to the open source world? I know you've been here 3 years, and each year you're giving back stuff to the open source community. What's up with that?
Well, for us, it's really part of supporting and creating a healthy ecosystem. It's a virtuous cycle that we see as contributing to not only supporting the communities that create open source, but also, as Jared mentioned, creating simple distribution platforms for those tools to be disseminated to our customers. So we see it as a rising tide lifts all boats. And the opportunity there is really it's a great symbiosis in that it benefits the communities, the projects, customers, and in the end us.
Yeah, and in the end it helps our customers. The more engaged we are with these open source communities, the better we can address our customers' needs for using this software. So it helps helps us, it helps our customers, and it helps the rest of the open source ecosystem as well.
It sounds like we all do better when we all do better.
It does sound like
Indeed,
that.
Indeed.
So speaking of all doing better, I hear there's something you're going to offer tomorrow to everyone?
Right, so as in tomorrow's keynote, we're offering 1 free year of hosting with Bluehost to all the attendees that show up at the keynote address.
For anyone here?
Yep, anybody here.
Wow, and so you have to be here, though.
Yeah, you have to be here to be present, and you'll have I don't know if they're going to set it on the chairs or hand it out as people leave the keynote tomorrow morning, but definitely stay tuned to tomorrow's keynote.
So if I already have a Bluehost account, I get a second one with a different domain? Or?
You come talk to us at our booth later. We'll figure something out.
Okay. So what are you guys going to be up to in the future? I know there's some talk, different places around the world that are growing, and what are you guys going to take Bluehost, let's say next year or the year after?
Well, we have, like many in the industry, are looking at cloud platforms. So we have a cloud enablement platform we utilize as sort of integrated operations for our systems. And what we're really looking to do is continue to expand outwardly and internationally. We just launched on the Bluehost brand for a variety of different countries, local language, local currency, local support in Russia, China, and a couple of other countries, more to come there. So really interesting to take a look at the next generation of the world truly being flat in that regard. That's really where you can see us looking forward to.
Will I be able to pay with Bitcoin soon?
Good question.
Good question.
Probably not, but yeah.
We're obviously we're looking to take care of our customers, and if we had a high demand for that sort of thing, it's something we would look at.
So that's a really good question lead in right there, is what is highly in demand that people want the most, other than WordPress? What would you say the typical stack for a small startup is?
A lot of times for a small startup, it's not necessarily about one piece of technology. What's important for them is getting their business online, getting the exposure that they need online, and they're less concerned about, well, is it WordPress or is it Drupal or is it Joomla, than they are as how can I get my web presence online. For small businesses, they're focused on being a bakery or being a bike repair shop or whatever they went into business for. Typically, they didn't go into business to build a website and
run
and be founded by the search engines and those sorts of things.
And that's incumbent on us to deliver those outcomes that they seek, not necessarily the inputs to those outcomes. And for us, it's really about creating solutions that make it as turnkey as possible for them to be able to get on with what they're passionate about. And despite what we might think, many of them aren't passionate about technology.
Yeah.
They're looking for it to just work, and that's really what where we put a lot of our energies towards.
And that's really how where we come into play, to be able to help them say, we know you want to be online. We know this is what you want. How can we use the solutions that we have to help you?
And that's where a lot of our business and being support driven. We do an awful lot of consulting with our customers through our support teams, and that's sort of consultative approach to be able to give them the right solution. It could be an intimidating space, and part of our value is to be able to do that hand-holding and take them to where they want to be.
And to take, if I can interrupt, to take that from the other side, for a lot of open source communities, they have a hard time understanding how their end users are using their software, the difficulties they're running into, and that's another place where we can add some value on the open source side, is helping open source software communities really understand their end users, what their needs are, the pain points, and those sorts of things.
So you guys could actually be a little bit of a barometer about small business and like the number of small businesses wanting commerce solutions.
Sure.
Whether it's commerce solutions or hosting solutions or email solutions, those sorts of things.
So is commerce a common thread with small startups for you guys, or is that like
it's certainly
second
something
generation?
It's certainly something that's definitely out there and on our radar, and something we focus on. I think there's a kind of a natural progression that businesses start out and they say, I need a web presence.
Yeah.
And they want to be found, and it starts out as something as simple as an online yellow page type listing, and then from there they said, I can start giving more product information. Maybe I'll set up online commerce. Maybe I'll set up social media accounts so that our customers can interact with us more. But there's a natural progression that follows along that, from being just simple, hey, I've got a presence online and I've got an email address, all the way through.
And back to the ecosystem, we feel we're uniquely positioned to be able to have that relationship with the open source communities, to provide that feedback and to receive feedback from them as well. So that's really where that virtuous cycle comes into play, not only for the consumers of it, but for the projects, for our platform, for our customers. Exactly, yeah.
So how important is the developer community like OSCON to Bluehost? I mean, I know you have customers here, who have a monthly with you, but how important is this community to you?
Well, it's vitally important, because the more engaged we are with the developer community, the more we feel like we understand where the software is going, what we can do to help with that software, and we're not playing catch up when there's a new release of a piece of software. We're not scrambling to say, how are we going to support this new piece of software? Or, I wish we would have had this feature in there earlier. Those sorts of things. If we're engaged with those communities, we know about those things and can take part in those discussions earlier rather than later.
I mean, like anybody you would expect using open source, they value the flexibility that comes with being able to build something and customize it and ultimately optimize it, and then contribute back into the community. And we have a higher fidelity relationship, I might say, than with the projects and developers, because of our involvement in the community, and we really feel that it works out to everyone's best interest.
Good. So if there was one thing you could ask all the developers here to do in relationship to working with Bluehost, what would it be?
I would say just take an active part in the community, help out, be open to feedback, and sometimes our feedback is a little different than a typical end user, because we may have millions of customers using this software, but play along and be a good open source citizen.
Good, like that. Thank you, John and Jared. Thank you for your support with OSCON and the open source community.
Great.
We look forward to seeing you guys in future years.
Our pleasure. Thank you,
here.
Mike. Good.